again from the Southern University's Network team and welcome to the Party People activity. So far you've reflected on what you've learned and achieved so far on your Tuesday, or in other words between the ages of 16 to 24. You've started to think about what truly matters to you by identifying the things you care about and that make you happy and get you fired up. And you've considered the doorways that might be open to you in the future, doorways that could help you experience the things that matter most to you. This next activity is all about playing to your strengths, and because everyone's lives are different, we all have far more strengths, abilities and talents than we might think. We've developed these strengths through all sorts of aspects of our lives, including learning, hobbies, experiences and lots more. In the Party People activity, we'll be taking a deeper dive into understanding your strengths and interests, focusing on what you love and what you're good at. You might be wondering how this links to everything we've done up until this point. Well, knowing your strengths and interests can really help when you're exploring what you want to do when you reach school leaving age. Whether that's the type of qualification that suits your learning style or the course or subject area you're interested in most and can see yourself thriving in. Combining this with the things that matter most to you and the doorways of opportunity you want to experience means you are far more likely to enjoy what you're studying and working towards in the future. So, for this activity, I want you to imagine you've just turned up at a party. And as you walk around, you're greeted by 10 different groups of people who all have their particular set of strengths and interests. You'll see the different groups on the screen in a moment. First, I'd like you to choose the group you think you'd naturally gravitate towards when you arrive at the party. Think about which group you'd feel most comfortable chatting to and the group that shares your interests. You can pause or rewind the video at any point. And don't forget to jot your answers down on your worksheet or piece of paper. Ready? Let's go. First, there's the actives, people who enjoy anything to do with sport and leisure. Then you see the handy-andies, people who enjoy using their hands, working with objects or tools, making, preparing and fixing things. And the creatives, who love arts, words, language, being creative, innovating and using their imagination. Next, you see the mathematicians, people who love numbers, science and logic. And they're next to the musicians, who like playing, composing or simply being around music. Across the room, you see the thinkers. They like to reflect, think, philosophize, and make plans about themselves and others. Then you bump into the communicators, people who love relating to others, including selling, motivating, educating, teaching, and negotiating. You look around and spot the suits, who love being in the world of commerce and business. Just next to them are the carers, people who like to help, cure, or support others. And last but not least, there are the greenies, who love nature, animals, the outdoors, and caring for the environment. Okay, so now imagine the group you were with has had to leave the party. There are 9 groups left. Jot down who you'd like to talk to next. And think about who you'd feel most comfortable with. Is there another group who have similar interests to you? As a reminder, here are the groups. Rewind the video to hear their descriptions again. There are actives, the handy-andies, the creatives, the mathematicians, the musicians, the thinkers, the communicators, the suits, the carers, and the greenies. Great work. Let's take a closer look at the strengths and attributes our party people are likely to have. In a moment, you'll see the party people groups again, but this time there'll be a list of strengths, abilities, and talents under each one, which are typically associated with people who are part of these groups. Remember, everyone has their own unique set of strengths, so you might not relate to everything listed beneath your chosen groups. I'd like you to choose the ones you feel you already have. Make sure you do this exercise for both of your chosen groups. And you know the drill, rewind or pause the video if you need a bit more time. I'll go through each group's strengths, abilities and qualities now. The actives: exercising, exploring, well-being, sporting, adventuring, playing, dancing, organising, engaging and travelling. The handy-andies: building, repairing, making, crafting, administrating, cooking, cleaning, painting, tending, and maintaining. The creatives, inventing, creating, imagining, designing, changing, developing, connecting, drawing, visioning, and writing. The mathematicians, accounting, evaluating, solving, analysing, forecasting, appraising, budgeting, financing, computing, and systematising. The musicians, performing, collaborating, practicing, recording, producing, improvising, orchestrating, composing, singing, and entertainment. The thinkers, reflecting, thinking, planning, learning, reviewing, researching, processing, reading, philosophizing, and observing. The communicators, communicating, teamwork, teaching, presenting, listening, motivating, inspiring, managing, liaising, and educating. The suits, selling, persuading, fundraising, marketing, enterprising, leading, initiating, championing, promoting, and risk-taking. The carers, helping, caring, sharing, supporting, understanding, mentoring, empowering, befriending, loving, and assisting. The greenies, protecting, preserving, salvaging, planting, conserving, growing, regenerating, recycling, tidy, and saving. Excellent work. You should now have identified and jotted down some of your own strengths, abilities, and talents. As with our other activities, it is likely that we'll all have different answers for this one. And this just highlights that we all have particular strengths and that we're all good at different things. That brings us to the end of the activity. We hope you enjoyed it. The next activity is called Subject Rainbow, where we'll be looking at how your strengths and areas of interest can guide the decisions you'll soon be making about your next steps in education.